Okay.
background just to make it, yeah.
Hmm. Can you just your
To make
camera a
my
little bit? Yeah. Okay.
sorry.
You can just camera a little bit. Yeah, just too near, right? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So we can start.
Okay.
So basically, I let discuss about first that you know about the technology which we are going to evaluate here, right? That is MS SQL and Postgres, not Oracle, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm starting from my introduction first, and then your introduction, and then resume evaluation, and a little bit on that project side and technical interview. Okay. So myself, Shailesh Kumar,
Okay.
more than 16 experience as a SQL DBA, MySQL, Postgres, and little bit on Sybase. And last 8 years, I am a technical interviewer for the database. So this is my brief introduction. You can start from introduction, and then we jump to the resume evaluation. Thank you.
Okay. So I am Brian Triones. I'm mainly a MS SQL Server DBA
Mm-hmm.
and also an Oracle
Mm-hmm.
DBA. I have a little bit of Postgres.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've also had on-prem to cloud migrations for MS SQL,
Mm-hmm.
Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
For Postgres, I've briefly touched the on-prem Postgres, but
Mm-hmm.
that was way back. Um, Mainly just the Aurora versions on AWS, but
Okay.
even that is just uh, just a little bit. So yeah, that's my main DBA background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you help me to understand what are the activities you have done in last couple of months on the SQL side, right? MS SQL Server
On
side.
the
Mm-hmm.
yeah on the MS SQL side, mainly migrations
Mm-hmm.
from on-prem to cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was a combination of both um, Azure VM on IaaS flavor and also some PaaS as well.
Mm-hmm.
The For the PaaS mainly on Azure SQL and well, also Azure MI.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I have to say the some of the migrations on Azure SQL was a bit of a challenge because the
Mm-hmm.
SSIS runtimes
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like exist on sorry on the Azure SQL Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to like rewrite the packages
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Okay.
And also I've done quite a bit of out of place upgrades,
Mm-hmm.
mainly via log shipping. Um, Also some in place upgrades, but that's mainly on non production.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was what I've been doing for the past few months, and the like usual BAU support.
Okay. So sorry. So how much do you have experience as a SQL DBA, MS SQL DBA? That is 10 years,
Uh,
5
let me
years?
let me just raise my volume a bit.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, it's a little clearer now. Sorry, what were you asking?
I'm asking about the relevant experience in MS SQL Server.
Since 2012, 2013,
Okay, more than
the
13.
earliest, yeah, the earliest version I handled this very briefly was '08,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, we were in the middle of upgrades then
Mm-hmm.
to 2012. Then you know,
So, can you help me to understand what are the latest features you have implemented in your environment?
um, I wouldn't say latest features,
Mm-hmm.
um, but on the past flavor, we had that uh, feature that's force last good plan.
Mm-hmm.
So So it's what it says. It's a function to it's a feature to force the last good plan to ensure plan stability. I think it's been available since, I'm not sure if it's really that new.
That is, you are
I
saying about
think
the
it's,
query store, right?
yeah. And also the set auto tuning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we've only started it from the sequel 2019 onwards, but I'm pretty sure that it's been available since 2017, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Mainly that it's been migrations,
Okay.
and yeah.
So you have work on ETL part too, right?
Um, Not so much on the ETL, on
Mm-hmm.
the SSIS SSRS part.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my ETL experience came from Azure Databricks
Okay.
ADF,
Mm-hmm.
that lakehouse
Okay.
pipeline building thing already,
Yeah.
but like the legacy ETL SSIS SSRS, like I briefly touch it way back, but I have to. But if you're going to ask me now, I'll have to look for my
No,
really
but
old
basically this is
notes.
not a part of DB activities, right? But we have to just provide support. So that and this and you have supported this, right? Not dedicatedly that is working, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that is different thing basically because DBA is just involved in that configuration part or performance tuning part, right? But not going to write the code and packages, creating the packages. Okay, okay. Have you got chance to work on that encryption part and high abilities? What are yeah, have you enabled this in your environment?
um, I've enabled TDE in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and the always encrypted for some sensitive columns,
Mm-hmm.
and some data masking also
Okay.
on those columns.
Mm-hmm. So can you differentiate between data masking and transparent data encryption?
Well, TDE, you can still see the the PII columns because it is only encrypting the
Mm-hmm.
database at rest. So
Mm-hmm.
like if someone likes copy pastes the data files and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, if they don't have like the encryption key,
Mm-hmm.
they won't see it. But it doesn't do any like client side protection.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can still see the columns. Like with Unlike with masking,
Mm-hmm.
when you mask the columns, I forgot the actual syntax to do that,
Mm-hmm.
but unless that user has the unmask privileges,
Mm-hmm.
it will only see like the mask version of that data.
Okay. And how about the always on high abilities HADR?
Sorry.
HADR configuration have you done? Always on
Yes.
or DAG?
The availability groups. Yeah, I've
So
done
can you
that.
explain that general availability group and multi listener and DAG, that is distributed availability group?
Um, I won't say it's a like a one. I haven't done like a one to many.
Okay.
Just a simple primary and secondary.
Okay. And how
Yeah.
much listener there?
So sorry.
How much listener they are configured? Single listener or multi listener?
Mm,
When you configuring that single to
okay.
many,
Okay.
right? So you are
Mm,
providing the listener name, listener IP and port number, right?
yeah. It kind of depends on how many AGs that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not mistaken,
Mm-hmm.
um, it should be like a one listener per AG.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have like just one, then then you just need one listener.
Yeah, right, right.
Something
So
like that.
in one AG we can use multiple listener as well, right? There's a feature.
Is it?
Yeah,
Uh,
you can pass that multi-listener, right? If you created, let's db as AG, right? AG, right? Ability group,
yeah. Huh?
and you're passing there one subnet, right? 10.10.3, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you can also pass that other listener, that is 10.15.5. If one listener is goes down, application routing to that second listener, right? Maybe, or may not be.
I don't think so.
Okay, so you use that enterprise listener, right, for the configuring this AG group.
Yes, yes.
Okay, not an issue. So there is a multi listener configuration, we can do that, right?
Uh, Only if we have like multiple AGs.
Hmm. You can create multiple AGs, you can multiple subnet you can create, right? Because they
Yes.
are routing just for the routing the application, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a connection string, you're passing that listener in the connection string of the application.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have
Mm-hmm.
multiple listeners, if one listener goes down, you can the application is routing to the second listener and it is up and running, right? Because we are going for the high abilities, not for DR.
Oh yeah, like you mean like an external listener? Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
yep, yep, yeah,
yeah. You can do that.
yeah. So
I
have you
was thinking about the built-in stuff.
yeah, you something diverted, right? So that's why. Okay, not an issue. So have you got chance to work on DAG, distributed ability group?
Uh, uh,
Yeah, DAG, that is
database.
distributed ability group.
I don't think that's SQL Server native, or right, because we already have like an an always on instead of a DAG.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is creating on the top of the clusters, right? Two cluster, two data
yeah,
center.
but yeah, it that's like a something like a server level thing
Mm-hmm.
already.
Yep, 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 yep,
Yeah.
yep. So I think you have not seen the clustering, SQL Server clustering, right? Because we require
Mm,
that for the DAG clustering and all, right?
yeah, not at the like not the server level
Yeah, okay,
stuff.
okay.
Yeah, just the
Not an issue,
just
okay.
the instance AG. That's all that's
That
visible
your
to me.
database level you have done, right? Not the instance level,
Yeah,
not the data center level, right? This is total top
yeah.
of that basically, right? If you have a single environment and you have multi data center, so you can configure that multi center ability group using the DAG, right?
Mhm,
It's the SQL Server features, right? Okay.
mhm.
How about that replication? Have you worked on the replication part?
Um, that's done via AG.
Mm-hmm.
Done via always on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can also kind of set up like a publisher, distributor, subscriber
Yep,
setup.
yep, yep, yep.
Um, that's what I usually do when we need to move like not an entire database but just a table.
Yes, that is article level, right? Object level migration, you can say that, not a
Yeah,
database level, not a server level. Okay, yeah, thank you.
yeah. So yeah, especially if it's like a big table, just set up the publisher, distributor, subscriber.
Yeah, right.
Um, but don't turn it on yet because you need to BC out the table, then BC in it to the destination database, and then make sure the
Mhm.
associate objects are created. Then you can start the replication.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so things like that.
Okay. So you work on query tuning part as well, right?
Yes.
So what are the best practices you use to configure SQL Server instance after installation?
Um, I wouldn't say like instance level setting,
Mm-hmm.
but I am more particular about how the tables are set up and what queries are running against them,
Mm-hmm.
especially if like if a query uses certain columns a lot in their where clauses,
Mm-hmm.
that that column needs to be indexed.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. And also, well, I mean, obviously at the database level, you can just auto stats to on, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also, on how the query is written, you really want to avoid putting a function on your where clause, because it will not do a seek, it will do a very nasty scan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've seen this multiple times, like a year column name
Mm-hmm.
equals 2024. That's, you know, very, very nasty.
Okay. Sorry. So can you explain if you are see that there is a table scan or index scan, right? So what will you do if you find that?
Um, it kind of depends on, like, the logic of
Mm-hmm.
the query.
Okay.
Like, if you're doing, uh, if the query has a, if the where clause is using a, how do you call this, an indexed column, and there's nothing funny on the left side, and yet you are seeing some, a lot of scans and not a seek operation, then
Mm-hmm.
maybe your index is fragmented. You may have to rebuild your index, reorganize your index,
Mm-hmm.
um, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or um, maybe if the data set that they are trying to, like, sorry, even if like the query is still okay,
Mm-hmm.
um, the logic doesn't have like poor selectivity, the expected data set isn't that large, but if you check on the explain plan,
Mm-hmm.
you're seeing a large clustered index scan,
Mm-hmm.
that can indicate that the stats are outdated.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else? Uh, or if in the execution plan you are seeing a lot of lookups,
Mm-hmm.
like a key lookup, or an, I forgot the other one, uh, R R
RID.
lookup,
Read lookup.
RID, yes, yes, RID. So that can indicate that the columns are not are not the columns need to be included in the index. You need to widen the index that way. Um, if you see like a really large hash hash
Mm-hmm.
hash match
Has match. Yep.
hash match
Yep.
join,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
or hash aggregate, probably there's, you will need to look at the query itself, and you will have to check the join conditions. There's probably a misjoined um, column, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else? Um, if you have something like if it's intensive in sort,
Mm-hmm.
it will eat up your temp DB.
Mm-hmm.
So probably you may have to index your column that's in the order by,
Mm-hmm.
to reduce the your sort operation.
Okay. Nice.
Uh, what else? Uh, I think that's mainly it. Maybe some hardware related um, things, like a remote scan or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If it's if the logic, if the application logic is relying too much on the link server operations,
Okay. Nice.
maybe maybe try to localize the data set that it's looking at,
You
because
find
you're
it.
having extra like latency.
Yep, yep, yep.
Uh, what else?
Yeah, thank you. Covered mostly. You covered
Yeah,
basically.
I think those are the main
Mhm.
common gotchas.
Okay, nice. So about the link server, right? So
Mhm.
we'll discuss later basically, right? We are in the query tuning or performance tuning part. So let's have one scenario. You get a call from the app application, right? And they are
Mhm.
saying that yesterday till yesterday the procedure is working fine, right? There is some report as
Mhm.
stored procedure, but since morning they are trying to fetch data. It will taking 5 to 7 minutes. So from where you start debugging, and how can you find the root cause?
Um, I would probably look at, well, first of all, I would check first if there's any locks, because that's the easiest thing that you can do.
Okay.
Probably just SP2 who, and say, aha, you're being blocked,
Oh yeah.
blah blah blah. So that's the easiest bit. And if there is no lock, you will have to look at the DM. Uh, what view is that?
Exe request.
Exec request. You have to join it with the active
Yeah,
transactions
right.
and
SQL statement, right?
sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Exec sessions, active transactions, and transaction transactions, something like that. So you can get the 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 session ID.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can from there
Mm-hmm.
you can plug, well, not only the session ID, also, if I'm not mistaken, exec request also has the SQL handle.
Yep, right. Good.
So from there you can check what it's doing,
Mm-hmm.
and you can also check if it's SQL. If it's like a long running query, you can get an estimated plan, but my preference is to get the actual plan.
Mm-hmm.
So to do that, you will have to do an X events,
Mm-hmm.
start and what was that? Create event something something, and then you add the part that it also captures the query plan, and then from there you start the X event, and then from there you can have an idea of what's wrong based on the actual execution plan. Like if it's um,
Okay,
if
so
it's doing some scans that's not supposed to happen, or maybe it's doing some clustered index scan, then you can update the stats, and you
mm-hmm.
can, things like that.
Okay, nice. So means you have work on extended events too, right? Instead of
Yes.
profiler. So have what you prefer, profiler or extended events?
uh I only used Profiler for a relatively short time,
Mm-hmm.
because when I started, Profiler is, I won't say on its way out. I mean, it technically it's still there,
Yeah, right.
but I've
Sorry.
been like using external events for like
Yeah, this is lightweighted, right? That's why.
ever since. Yeah, it's slightly different, but I hardly use the Profiler.
Okay. And okay, so in tuning part, can you help me to understand what are the different type of pages in SQL Server?
Different type of pages.
Yep, like data
Is that
pages.
like the heap? Oh, wait.
Yeah, take your
Uh,
time.
isn't that like um,
Have you seen that extents, right? The
yeah,
mixed extent, a uniform extent,
it's
right?
like
It's a collection of pages, right?
what's the Oracle equivalent of that? Block
Blocks and
block
segments in
size.
Oracle, right?
Yeah.
So these
So
are blocks.
it's
The block size is
kind of like that. So um well, there's there's already what you mentioned, the data pages. Um there should be one for index.
yep, yep.
I'm not sure what it's called. Well,
IMA.
probably index pages.
IMA, that is IMA, that is index allocation mapping. Then
Yeah,
DCM, then BCM, right?
yeah.
ISAM, SAM or
The
GSAM.
other
Mm-hmm.
the other one is the text
Yep, 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 yep.
image pages.
You're right, you're
That
right.
I'm not sure if image pages are still on. Is it still live? I don't. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
already
this is
deprecated.
capturing that text and image both in that, right?
Yeah, yeah. What else? The S, the SGAM,
SGAM, yeah, yes. SGM, yes, SGAM, yep.
and then the PFS.
Yep, right. Go ahead.
I don't remember what it's for. I think it's. I think
Page free space.
PFS.
Page free space allocations, right? How much free
The
space?
free space. That's just free space, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
Uh,
yeah.
the IAM,
Yep, yep,
the
right.
allocation mapping.
Yeah, yeah, good.
Uh, what else? The metadata one. The boot page.
No, this is not a boot page, but DCM we have, right? DCM and BCM.
Oh yeah.
Bulk change management or
Uh,
differential change mapping, right?
yeah. The differential change. That's I think um, the change tracking from
Yep,
the last backup.
yep, yep, yep.
That's my my thing for that. It's the similarity to Arman,
Yep.
the log change tracking thing, and the DCM. That's for the that's for the bulk operations for the minimally log operations, like a bulk insert, something like that.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So you work on three technologies, right? Oracle, MS SQL, and Postgres, right?
Yeah.
So
But in my memory, Postgres is just the Aurora thing.
yes. So what we use instead of Arman, right? In SQL Server, if there is Arman in Oracle, right? But what you seen in
Yeah.
SQL Server and Postgres?
Uh, for SQL Server, mm, essentially it's just a backup job.
Mm-hmm.
You can manage it via SSMS,
Mm-hmm.
or if you have like third-party tools like
Mm-hmm.
what was the one that we used last time? Like Veritas or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Postgres. What's it called? Postgres. I don't remember the on-prem version for Postgres because I just remember it's being auto backed up in PAS.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
PG dump, PG base backup, or Barman.
yeah, the dump thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there is a PG dump, right? You can schedule
Is
that.
it PG dump? Yeah, probably. It's probably PG dump. I don't remember on the on-prem. Yeah.
Okay, not an issue. Okay. And can you help me to understand the query flow in the SQL Server?
Uh, like for just selection.
Yep, yep, just for selections. Yeah.
Hmm. there should be a layer above the parsing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Probably the authentication layer, something protocol.
TCP/IP, name pipeline, shared memory, right? These are the
Yeah,
protocols.
the network layer.
SNI, SQL Server Network
Yeah,
Interface.
the TDS protocol, I think.
TDS, yeah, that
Protocol
is,
layer.
yeah, TDS is a just
Yeah,
streaming, right? This is tabular data streaming, right?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Tabular data stream. So once it passes that,
Mm-hmm.
it does obviously the parsing to to check the syntax.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it then
Query
it
tree.
goes to like a uh, the semantic
Check, yes.
level,
Mm-hmm.
the semantic check.
Mm-hmm.
So it checks for if the I think at that layer it checks the collation, the cardinality stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I think that layer also does the object validation
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, object validation permission, and then from there,
Mm-hmm.
only there can we go to the optimizer. So
Nice.
from there, it will do it will create an execution plan. Um, it does the statistics, the join order, the type of join that it will use,
Mm-hmm.
which index it will use, and then it creates an execution plan based on that.
Sorry. Okay. Mm. You work on Azure, right?
Yes,
So can you help
mainly
me to
in
understand
Azure.
infra as a service and platform as a service? What is different between IaaS and PaaS?
So IaaS, you essentially have you essentially have control of the entire VM.
Mm-hmm.
Like the so if so from there you have like a full control. So
Mm-hmm.
in SQL Server terms,
Mm-hmm.
you're just creating a VM in Azure with uh, the entire SQL Server instance in it. So it's the closest thing to on-prem. But if it's a platform at a service, that layer is not visible to you.
Mm-hmm.
So um, you won't have access to like the physical files. They only have like a logical pointers, especially if you're on Azure managed instance and you want to create file groups.
Mm-hmm.
They just give you like logical aliases. Usually it's in the MS SQL, what's that? MS SQL something data path, but the
Data path,
actual
okay.
physical path is not visible to you.
Yeah, right. Can you help me to understand that Azure SQL Managed Instance, and Azure, yeah, both, right? Azure SQL,
So
yeah, go ahead.
um, Azure managed instance, I would say it's a little closer to IaaS, but it's obviously not IaaS.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, you can have SSIS on managed instance.
Okay.
Uh, what else can you have? You can have logins. Wait, can I have logins on MI? Yeah, I should. I should have logins on MI.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else? What else? What else? else can I have on MI? Linked servers.
Mm-hmm.
You can have that. Um, some server level configurations, not all,
Mm-hmm.
because it's really not IaaS. Um, SQL agent jobs, credential
Sorry. Mm-hmm.
proxies, stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
you can have. But for Azure SQL,
Mm-hmm.
it's only one database. So you don't have linked servers, you don't have your logins, you don't even have SSIS. You have you can't migrate SSIS. That's actually the one of the painful parts of Azure SQL. You have to depends on what's being executed on those packages. Um, if it's mainly SQL, you
Mm-hmm.
have to create it via Elastic Jobs. If it's mainly PowerShell, you
Mm-hmm.
have to create it on Azure Automation. If it's something more, if it's like a combination of the two and it's rather complex, you will have to build your custom Azure function,
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
Yeah, right. We remember it was a diagnostic and all, right. Okay. So let me the another question on Azure part, right? How do you choose in between that DTU based and core vCore based purchase model?
Uh, a lot of it will have to do with sizing,
Mm-hmm.
uh, with with your workload on prem.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it you'll have to run perfmon for at least a week to to figure out like what's your spike, what's your 90th percentile,
Mm-hmm.
what's your parallelism behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can the stuff that I can get on perfmon. You can get an estimate of the IOPS on a per data file basis.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else? Average reads, stuff like that. Um, yeah, so based on that, you will have to decide, like, let's say, if you're on MI,
Mm-hmm.
um, ah, what's that? Your V core should be equal to the CPU core as well. Um, MI in MI memory is, if I'm not mistaken, fixed per vCore, and for the throughput, mm, for the throughput, um, I think it's MI whose throughput that scales with depending on how big it is.
Okay.
Is that right? Is that MI? But generally, like if you have like if your workload is like a high throughput workload or a low latency workload,
Mm-hmm.
or it's kind of heavy on the temp DB on prem, you probably have to go to the business critical tier. That's what I remember on
Okay.
the sizing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the V for the Azure SQL, well, temp DB is auto managed,
Yep. Yep. Right.
so you don't have to worry about that. Um, vCore model, I think the vCore model is like a combination. The computation there is, I forgot the exact formula, but it's kind of a sum of CPU memory and I/O.
Yep,
And
right, right.
then the IOPS is kind of dependent on the service tier. Um,
Mm-hmm.
for the general one, I think it's limited to like 4,000 IOPS. I don't have the numbers with me.
Okay,
I
not an
don't have
issue.
the numbers with me.
It's
But
okay.
also the storage, it's limited to, I think the storage is also limited. It's something like 4 or 5 terabytes.
Yeah, right,
I'm
right.
not sure with
Just
the actual
restricted
number.
basically, right? Yeah.
Unless you go to the hyperscale tier,
Mm-hmm.
which if you go to the hyperscale,
Mm-hmm.
the IOPS is really big. I think it's something like 300,000 IOPS. It scales up to that,
Mm-hmm.
and the capacity scales up to like 100 terabytes or something. I don't have the exact numbers,
Yeah, boss.
but
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. Thank you. So let's have one scenario for the migration part, right? If we have a
Mhm,
multi-terabyte on-premise database, right? We have to migrate
mhm.
it to Azure instance or maybe PaaS, right? So what will be your approach to migrate this data?
Um, to migrate, well, number one, I have to get my perfmon data first
Mm-hmm.
so I can figure out the size because while you can change the tier
Mm-hmm.
on the fly,
Mm-hmm.
um, you will have some downtime, especially with Azure Managed Instance, right? So get your perfmon data, run your calculations, then try to match it with the actual tier that you need. That is kind of like a step higher,
Okay.
right? So so once that sizing problem is done, um, now it depends on like how many SSIS packages are there. Do you need to, because if if that on-premise system has like a lot of packages and things like that, you have to rewrite them to
Mm-hmm.
various Azure objects. So um, for so depending on that, if it has a lot of SSIS packages and things like that, I would probably go to MI. Um, and then once the decision is done,
Mm-hmm.
um, I would do, if it's like um, if it's like on I would do a DMA assessment and obviously like create the SQL the SQL target on the other end. Um, create a DMS instance, and then I like choose what's the migration type there? Online migration, or like one of the options, online migration, and then to be able to talk to the on-prem system, I
Mm-hmm.
need to install an SHIR, yeah, self-hosted integration runtime on the on-prem, and then configure the. Before that, I need to have like a blob storage ready for the backup locations.
Mm-hmm.
So so once that is done, um, on the DMS, I will need to obviously configure the source, the target, the backup location, um, the SQL credentials, uh, the databases that you're migrating, and then yeah, um, once the online migration starts, once the migration starts, the online migration starts on the DMS, you can it will try to do a like a full backup upload, log backup streaming underneath, and then yeah, um, on cutover time, you
Mm-hmm.
can just obviously it's a coordinated activity with the applications. They stop their applications.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you like apply the final log, bring the MI online,
Mm-hmm.
and then you direct the applications to MI either by DNS alias, or if you have like a if your applications can already use a CNAME, then use that CNAME to point to the to that MI. That's the case for the MI. I think it's essentially the same. Wait, if you're doing like a, in the case of an IaaS, then it's closer to like migrating it to another on-prem server.
Yeah, yeah, right.
So
Thank you.
so so once you provision your VM, you need to install your SQL Server image, your
Mm-hmm. Yep.
SSIS,
Mm-hmm.
um, your security agent stuff like the CrowdStrikes, the Defenders, your
Mm-hmm.
monitoring agents like the Splunks. I
Mm-hmm.
usually get a lot of help from the server admins on that
Right, right.
step.
Yep, right, right.
But yeah, so at once that's done at the server level, um, I will need to migrate out the instance level items like the logins
Mm-hmm.
um, from the source. I think it's a SP help rev login. I think
Sorry, logins, SP
yeah,
logins.
yeah, the logins. SP help rev login. That's the package that you use to get the logins from the source.
Mm-hmm.
Also the roles and permissions. So you need to query the server permissions, then the server role members, and then the credentials, the
Mm-hmm.
sys credentials,
Mm-hmm.
the DB06 sys proxies, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
the proxies, the operators, the alerts, and then the linked servers. So get you need to script it out on SP linked servers.
Mm-hmm.
Then SP help, what's that? SP help server or SP help link server? I think it's just SP help server. Then we create it on the destination and like uh, SP add linked server login,
Mm-hmm.
and then on the agent jobs,
Mm-hmm.
you will need to either extract it from SSMS, export jobs, or um, what's that? The SP help job to get the metadata,
Mm-hmm.
and then or you can script it on MSDB DBOSys jobs,
Yeah.
and then you'll need to migrate the SSIS as well if it's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Um,
great.
if the major version is the same, you
Mm-hmm.
can just back up your SSIS, then restore it on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, you need to to move your key.
Yeah, right.
You need to include the master key included. Um, if not, you will have, if like if it's like a migrate and upgrade scenario, um, I would um, how to, to extract that. Um, the get project, the catalog get project, and then so like so that will extract the binary, the ISP something
Sorry.
binary,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's like a file system deployed, if it's in those DTSX files, the semi legacy stuff, you'll have to copy it to the new VM, make sure that the folder structure is the same, and yeah, um, update your job to point to the new path. Um, if it's on MSDB, I think it's like the really older configurations where your SSIS stuff are in MSDB, not on SSIS-DB.
Mm-hmm.
You will have to MSDB sys SSIS packages, something like that, and script them out to like export and import those packages to those DTSX files.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Um, for the cut over, you can kind of do a log shipping,
Mm-hmm.
like a log shipping method. Um, and then once that's done, you can do the once the log shipping is done, it's synced and everything.
Mm-hmm.
On the window, um, you of course coordinating with the application guys as well. You make sure that the LSN is once they have stopped their applications, you make sure that the LSN is the same
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep.
both ends,
Mm-hmm.
and then take you suspend your log shipping jobs,
Mm-hmm.
your backup, your copy,
Mm-hmm.
your restore jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and then what's next? You take one last um, log backup from the source,
Nice.
you copy it to the destination,
Mm-hmm.
then you restore it with recover.
Thank you. Okay, so the cloud side, it's okay. Let's understand that. So in cloud side, what have you done that backup on past instances?
Um, Auto backup kind of does it.
Manual?
Uh, Manual, yeah, I have, like for specific activities,
Mm-hmm.
but you cannot overwrite the existing database. So if you have to restore it, you have to restore it as something else.
Okay, so can you help me to understand what is backpack and DACpack?
Back, back,
Yep, and DACpack.
back.
Have you seen this on past instance?
Uh, I think
Mm-hmm.
one of them, one of them is schema only.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I'm not sure which
No,
one.
no, you are the yeah. That's the difference basically, right? Sorry.
One of them schema only.
That is the difference here. Backpack and
I think
DACpack.
I think the I'll just have to take a guess. It's 50-50 anyway. The one that schema only is the DAC pack, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
I
right,
guess.
right, good. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, I think we are running out of time. I think yes. Okay. So have you got chance to create any schema designing, database designing?
Mm, the actual building of the schema, the data modeling and everything,
Mm-hmm.
I had help from the architects
Mm-hmm.
for that,
Mm-hmm.
the architects and the data modelers. So I just generally input like um, if you're if if the architect says like okay, we have a dimension table here, we have a fact table here,
Mm-hmm.
and we're joining it here, so we index these columns, stuff like that. So if the architect says this fact table is going to have like a historical, obviously it's a fact table,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to keep it for years, then I'll have to partition the table, you know, things like that. But it's mainly the architect and the
Okay.
data modelers
Okay. So they
that
are
are doing
involved
the
in
heavy
that.
lifting on the design. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I think I have done from that SQL side. So what you have done in Postgres side? Any idea? Any current project? Last couple of years you've done any?
I only had like a very brief,
Mm-hmm.
uh, stint in Postgres
Mm-hmm.
way back. That's even on Postgres RDS.
Mm-hmm.
That's Infosys. One of their DBAs left, and I had to Google everything.
Yeah, because this is a shared services, so you just provide that. Okay, not an issue. And how about the Oracle? What are can you explain me or let me help you understand what are the current project you have delivered in Oracle?
Um, for my last employer, it's moving. A funny story. We had a project
Mm-hmm.
that we had to move those on-prem AIX databases to Azure because
Mm-hmm.
for some reason the Microsoft guys told them that it's going to be cheaper, efficient, yada yada yada.
Okay.
So that was the project. So because they have like a different Endian, I had to do like the transportable table space, and before it was such a pain, but the current versions it's just a Perl script now, so you can do the full, the incremental, the final backup and cut over. So I sort of automated that,
Mm-hmm.
and then like Oracle turned around with the big wigs
Mm-hmm.
and told them, why are you doing this on like on Azure IaaS when you can do it on XACC?
Mm-hmm.
So we had to migrate those databases in Azure
Mm-hmm.
to XACC. Um, Fortunately, the Endian is the same,
Mm-hmm.
so I had to just use a tool called ZDM
Okay.
to do the backup, migration, and cutover. So once that's done, we had a lot of optimizations afterwards because the cost that time was, I think, their one their XOCC footprint that time was costing around $9,000 a day, and it was due to one of their claims databases. Well, not just the claims database, but specific queries
Mm-hmm.
that are just slow.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did there is I had to index some of the tables
Okay.
and a profile didn't work. I initially tried a profile,
Mhm.
but that didn't work. I had to use an outline to force them to force that those nasty queries to do the index to use that index that I built. So that kind of lowered the their cost by quite a lot
Okay.
because we are prior to that we've also implemented on XACC auto scaling.
Mhm.
So we were usually scaling before then we were scaling up at around 60 OCPUs per cluster, but then after I did those fixes, those tuning fixes, we were only able to the peak load is like at 40 44 OCPUs. So yeah, that was
Okay.
savings on their end.
So let's last question, right, for this interview, and then we can wrap this call. So you
Mhm.
work on Oracle and SQL Server, right? So in Oracle we
Yep.
have a rack, right? So the similar
Yes.
to rack, what are the features in SQL Server?
Uh, on SQL Server, I won't say it's a rack. It's an equivalent of rack. But in SQL Server, you can do a sharding,
Mm-hmm.
but that is a very application-driven shard. You can shard it by like a very common key, like for a year, or if you're if you have like a hash, not really a hash key, a if you can logically segment your data
Mm-hmm.
evenly, you can do that sharding.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the main selling point of Azure SQL in PaaS
Mm-hmm.
because you can shard. I haven't
HyperScale,
tried that
right?
on
Like
Azure MI.
HyperScale, right?
Uh,
Like hyperscaling.
yeah. What was that? I think it's a elastic.
Elastic
uh,
pool, elastic pool.
Yeah.
Okay, not an issue. Okay, so Rayan, right? I have done from my side. Do you have any question?
Um, just a question, like,
Mm-hmm.
what am I going to sign up for? Like, what's the project that I'm going to be in?
For my understanding, this project is for the shared resources, and I think your resume has been shortlisted for MS SQL and little bit on Postgres, right? And you
Mhm.
also know the Oracle, right? So being a team member and you know the multiple technologies, so maybe that is shared. You are using the shared resources, but yeah, dedicatedly for the SQL Server, right? Because it is highlighted for me. You will have the SQL Server, right? MS SQL Server.
Okay, okay,
Hmm.
okay. So, like, do you have like an idea of what the team composition is like, or is it? Do we have like an on call, a weekend
Yeah, sir.
roster?
Yeah, that's a nice question. But basically, what I know, this is a 24/7 support, and I think
Mm-hmm.
client is asking to make a team basically for 24/7. So I don't think there's a on call because there's a people in 24/7, so that can the team can be handle all the calls and
Okay,
anything. So right, that come in odd time for that. So basically, there's a shift. Maybe the shift. Yeah, for all the
okay.
yep, yep.
Okay. Uh, well, they already said the office is in Sydney, so that's not a problem. I think that's mainly it for me.
Sorry.
They said the location is in Sydney.
So that is I this is not my call basically. This is totally depend on
Oh,
that
sorry, it's not
panel,
your call.
right?
Okay,
This is for
sorry.
Sydney, this is for Bangladesh, this is for India. I don't know basically, right?
Okay, okay,
Because I'm a technical interviewer, right? So I just evaluating your resume and the technical things, right? So this is the
okay,
call for that panels and all, right?
okay.
Yep, yep. So basically, we don't get any data like that for which location.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think that's it for my end.
Okay. So thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Nice talking with you. Bye bye. See you later.
You too.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Nice talking with you too.
Bye bye.